Hello everybody, welcome to Jedi Dropouts, where we like to keep it geekly, not weekly. Here's my good friend, the co-host with the most, sweeter than cinnamon French toast, not quite an Avenger, but pretty damn close, Mr. James Moss.
And I am here joining my Lord and Savior, Ryan Taylor.
That's, I don't know, man, that's a little intimidating. I'm a little overwhelmed by that one.
I'm putting you on a pedestal.
Okay, that's fine. I'd prefer an armchair, but, you know, whatever works.
Yeah, I'm not really a stool fan. I tend to fall off them.
I never found stools to be that comfortable. I like the idea of being put up on a pedestal sounds slightly uncomfortable.
I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah. You don't want to be put up on a pedestal because you're afraid of heights. Oh, yeah. That's good. I like that.
That's why I like to set the bar so low for what everyone expects of me.
Set the bar low, and then you can keep your feet on the ground.
There you go. We should put that on a t-shirt.
That should be an inspirational poster over like a picture of a kitten.
It should be a picture of us dressed up as kittens.
Yes. With a rainbow.
Yes.
You can be the kitten, I'll be the rainbow.
That sounds perfect.
If anyone's proficient at Photoshop, feel free to do this. Feel free to do up some.
Yes, please.
We're always accepting of fan art.
Yep.
So today we're doing something a little different. Not really that different. We've done it once before, but no movie reviews, no news, no mailbag. Unfortunately, 30 questions. That's the whole. That's it. You got 15, I got 15. We don't know each other's questions, and it's gonna be fucking hilarious.
Yes.
And yeah, I think we should basically jump right into it. But first, we have I guess not an exclusive, but we got a pretty first-hand video game review.
Yeah.
As you're
a mobile game.
Yeah, you're good friends with the designer and artist behind this, Andrew Barrio.
Yes, I am.
I don't know him. I've chatted with him a little bit online lately as the game's been released. We'll just give the background information here. The game is called Goat Runner. It is mobile. Is it only on Android right now, or have they released the iOS version?
As far as I know, it's only on Android at the moment.
Yeah. But
I think they're looking into getting it on iOS in the near future.
But I mean, that's only fair because Apple fans usually have to wait a while before they get everything Androids have anyway, right?
Yeah, really.
It's part of a collection of games, a series of games, I'm not sure the title, called Life in Zorn, which are...
Yeah. The whole Zorn thing is going to be kind of like a universe, I think.
Yeah. And I believe they all might involve goats in some way. I've heard a rumor.
Yeah.
Developed by Sargasso Sailor and TRTL Studios. Coding by Ryan Wine. Art by Andrew Barrio and Caitlin Sweetapple. Designed by Andrew Barrio. With fantastic music by Drozerix. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right.
Dude, the music, like, for just simple 8-bit music, like, it is so catchy. It gets stuck in my head.
Yeah, me too. I knew this was...
It's so upbeat, too, like...
I knew this game was going to be my kind of thing from the get-go, because, number one, I love goats.
From the get-go?
From the get-go, yes. I love goats. I played the shit out of Goat Simulator. I would have a pet goat if I could. And I love Endless Runners. When Temple Run came out, I was absolutely fucking addicted. I couldn't stop playing Temple Run until I unlocked every single thing in the game. And yeah, I mean, I am the target market here. And yeah, I gotta say, Go Runner, I highly recommend it. An 8-bit endless runner where you collect goats and avoid obstacles, and that's really the basis of the game. But I mean, you've got unlockable characters, you have great soundtrack, you have basically different levels. They're called themes in the game, but you get. I haven't unlocked any yet because they're kind of pricey, but you get different themes, different areas you can run through and collect your goats. But I believe different music with each theme as well.
I believe so.
That's what I've been told, anyway. That game released last Saturday. It was the launch day. And I believe you and I were part of the beta test, weren't we? Yeah. I've been playing it since last week sometime.
Yeah, I've been playing it since basically Barrio started posting that it was available for beta.
Okay. I think I missed that original post because I've only been playing since last Thursday, and that was when I found out I could actually be playing it. I would have been playing it earlier. I had no idea.
And as of right now, actually, on the leaderboards, Ryan has the 9th highest high score in the game.
Fuck yeah. And I can't come anywhere close to that number again. I managed to get through it once, and I can't go anywhere near it. It's one thing I really like about it is difficult. It is tricky, but it's fair.
Yeah.
Like some of those, like every now and then you can get boxed in with a couple of the obstacles, and there is a way to get through. There's a slight, like just this sliver of a gap, and you can do it, but your timing has to be fucking perfect.
You have to be surgical with it sometimes.
Oh, yeah. It's doable, but you gotta be good.
Yeah. Like, sometimes I can get them 3 or 4 times in a row, and sometimes I'll fail them 10 times in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And which really fits in with the 8-bit look. Like, it feels... well, obviously, it's a mobile runner. It doesn't feel like Nintendo, but the difficulty level feels like I'm going to say Super Nintendo era game. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's all about the timing and the skill level. So, Goat Runner, highly recommend. Everyone's got a phone these days. Go give it a download. Go play. You're going to get fucking hooked on this thing. You're not going to be able to put it down. You're going to want to collect them goats.
Even if you're just playing it while you're on the toilet, like, man, like, it's a fun way to, you know, pass a few minutes.
Yeah. I like, anytime I get a free minute, like, I'm waiting in the car to pick somebody up. Yeah, let's play a few minutes Goat Runner.
Yeah.
It's like it sinks its teeth in you. It hooks you in, and
It does.
I can't wait to see what else is going to come from this Life in Zorn project. I'm definitely going to play whatever else they put out.
Oh yeah.
And when the time comes, we'll also review that.
Yep. And trust me, I'm not just saying that this is good because a friend of mine worked on it, because me and Barrio, like, we rag on each other sometimes. Like, if I thought that this game was bullshit, I would tell him.
Yeah. And I've played bullshit mobile games.
Oh, yeah.
Like, two quick notes on Goat Runner. There's nothing in this game, at least from what I've seen, that you have to pay for. There's no paywall, which is a bullshit thing that they put in a lot of these games.
Yep.
You can choose to, if you want to unlock stuff and not work for it or not earn the skins and the themes. You can just pay for it with your money, but you don't have to. You never really have to spend $1 on it. And 2, the ads are skippable. I don't know if this is specific to this game or if that's a new thing that they've implemented in mobile games, but this is the first time I've seen it, where there's a 30-second ad, and after like 5 to 10 seconds, you can skip it. Which,
yeah,
I don't know where it. I don't know. This is the first time I've seen this in a mobile game. Maybe I'm just out of touch, but I mean, good on them. You really don't have to spend much time watching ads. You don't have to pay a cent for it, and you get a quality game with fun music, unlockables, and it's addictive.
Oh god, yeah. I'm actually playing it right now.
Nice. Like it. I mean, mobile games. I mean, sure, you can get like AAA titles. Like I play Hearthstone from Blizzard on my phone. I mean, you're not gonna get a AAA title, but it is a fucking fantastic 8-bit mobile game from and this is the studio's first game. Am I right there?
Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah. As far as I know, it's their first. I could be mistaken on that, and I'm sure Andrew will correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yep. We've been corrected before.
Yep.
And we'll be corrected
again. That's how we learn.
Oh yeah. Okay. Time to move on to the main segment.
Yes.
30 questions.
Fun.
We're gonna try and go through 30 questions. You got 15, I got 15. And holy shit, this is gonna be something.
I think so.
Who's gonna start this off?
I can get this running. I can ask my question first, and while you're pondering your response, I can give my answer to the hypothetical scenario I have proposed.
Sure.
Okay, so first question that we have of our 30. Which Muppet do you relate to most on a personal level?
Oh boy.
For me, it's Gonzo.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I've always been a bit of a weirdo, and like going through like I've always liked punk rock, but like I went through the phase when I was younger where I had to look super punk, which, you know, felt like I was strapping on a uniform almost.
Yeah.
But I always looked different and acted different, and being adopted in my younger years, like, I didn't have a great idea of where I came from.
Okay.
And so the whole alien thing kind of resonated with me. And so just being a weirdo and always trying to entertain people and make people laugh and just being strange and not really giving a shit, yeah, I kind of feel like Gonzo's the one I relate to the most.
It's a good answer.
Yeah.
I thought I was expecting to have to work harder to get an answer to something like this, but this was pretty easy. It's got to be Fozzie. Like,
that's what I was expecting.
I'm a big guy who is generally pretty hairy, and I make a lot of dumb jokes.
Waka waka.
Waka waka, man. Yeah, no, Fozzie is probably my favorite Muppet, but also the one I definitely relate to the most. Fozzie's sense of humor is exactly my sense of humor. If you want to know what my personal sense of humor is, just watch Fozzie the Bear. 100% that is me. Yeah, that is... I can't think of a better answer for that one.
Nice.
Question number 2. Moving right along, as Fozzie and Kermit would say. James, what would you say is the best level from GoldenEye 007 for the N64?
Are we talking levels for, like, if me and you were playing multiplayer against each other and we picked a stage, or are we talking single-player campaign?
Oh, I didn't specify, but it has to be multiplayer. Yes, the GoldenEye campaign is good and fun, and the single-player levels are cool, but when we talk GoldenEye, we talk multiplayer.
Okay.
So I'll answer that one. I was stuck between two, but I think Complex has to be my favorite. Something to do with the layout and like the hiding spots in that one, and the fact that everything sort of blends together and it gets kind of confusing at times. That one was always my favorite to play.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Temple.
Oh, good pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Temple gets fucking intense as well. Because there's a lot of like,
and there's some rooms that are like there's sometimes when you're like navigating the maze trying to locate each other and shoot each other, but there's sometimes where you just meet up in that long ass room up top.
Yep.
And you're just having these big shootouts across the room.
Wow, that was exactly what was popping into my head when I thought Temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the standout. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Or like that hole in the floor, like shooting down, trying to pick people off down in that.
Man, I want to play GoldenEye again.
Hell yeah. You ready for my next question?
Yep, always.
Alright. If you could take Gordon Ramsay to any restaurant, where would you take him?
What? Like locally or?
Anywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere you've been.
Oh, anywhere you've been. Okay.
Anywhere you've been or anywhere you know of, hope to be, like, anything like that. I said Bob's Chicken Coop.
Okay. Yeah.
Because half the ladies that work there are hard as nails.
Yeah.
And the food is so good, but it's so greasy. Like, that shit'll cure a hangover just by walking in the door.
Yeah.
And I'd love to hear Gordon Ramsay spout off about how greasy it is, and then have these hard-as-nails women come back at him, and then to just sit back, enjoy my fries and gravy, while watching the two parties hurl insults back and forth at each other.
Yeah.
It would be dinner and a show.
I think he'd meet his match.
I think he would.
Yeah. Oh man, this is a fun question. I really like this one. I think I would have to pick something similar. I'm gonna go with Domino's Pizza House in Stephenville.
Oh my god.
Have you ever been there? Have you ever been?
Not often, but a couple times.
I'm not the biggest fan of their food, but that place is a fucking experience. Like, and I don't even know if I can truly give enough credit to what kind of experience that is. It's a one of a kind sort of place, and I would pay so much money to see his reaction to that place.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah. I like to see the Domino's Pizza House staff and the Bob's Chicken Coop staff like hash it out.
Civil War style.
Celebrity deathmatch.
There you go.
Oh fuck. Yeah, that's a good question, man. That was good.
Grease Wars.
Okay. Moving right along again. I gotta stop quoting that fucking Muppet song, man. You got Muppets stuck in my head. Question number 4. Okay, so as of late, there's been a big rise in giant monster movies. Like, we had Kong Skull Island, we had the 2014 Godzilla, We got the sequel to Godzilla next year. I planned Kong versus Godzilla. We just got a Pacific Rim sequel. I feel like there's another one I'm missing in there somewhere. But obviously, giant monsters are popular. Again, my question to you is, what giant monster movie would you like to see made that is not currently in the works?
What giant monster movie would I like to see made?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a movie. It could be a TV show, animated, even anything like that. You know, monster movies are the common one, so that's what I went to. But, and the only one that I mean, there are a lot of possibilities when you look at, like, say, video games, like Shadow of the Colossus and stuff like that. But the one monster that has never been done, and it's a shame, I think I want to see a Cthulhu movie.
Like, what sort?
Cthulhu?
Cthulhu?
Yeah. Is it Cthulhu? Oh, shit. Anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah. The Call of Cthulhu, whatever it is, H.P. Lovecraft, I would fucking love to see that. And I'd like to see Del Toro do it, honestly.
That is a good answer.
You got anything?
I was just thinking, like, what would I like to see? I was just thinking, like, what's something I haven't really seen too much of? And they're always talking about, like, the only thing that would survive nuclear holocaust are Cher and cockroaches. And I was thinking, like, radiation, cockroaches survive, giant roaches, those things are, you know, super gross and nasty anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought about that, like, remember Eight-Legged Freaks?
Yup.
Like, stuff like that, like giant bug movies. We haven't had a giant bug movie in a while.
No, we haven't.
That'd be fun.
Or even a miniature human movie. Kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
Because then, from their perspective, the bugs are giant, but they're just really small.
Honey, I Shrunk the U.S. military.
There you go.
Yeah, no, that's a good answer.
Let's keep this rolling.
Yep.
Are you familiar with the show Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Only vaguely. I've never watched.
But you know the general premise.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could control one of the four elements from, like, the characters in that show do, like, you could be an earthbender, airbender, firebender, waterbender, which element would you pick?
Oh, okay.
Me, personally, I chose water.
Yeah. Any reasoning, or?
Partly because so much of the world's mass is covered in water.
Yeah.
Partially because, as a former swimmer, like, I love being in the water, like, just, like, splashing around, floating, swimming, diving, whatever. I enjoy the water, and I mean, growing up on this island, like, there's so much water everywhere. I mean, obviously there's lots of land too, but
yeah.
So much of the earth is covered in water. And watching a bit of that show, just seeing some of the stuff the waterbenders did versus what, like, the firebenders or the earthbenders did. Like, the waterbenders did such cool shit, like making, like, all these shapes and shit out of the water in the air as they were moving it around. It just looked cool as shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Plus, I mean, as much as the Fire Nation in that show were like the conquerors and everything like that, Fire would be, in my opinion, the easiest to like just fuck off, because water can put out fire, dirt can put out fire, air can put out fire.
That's true. Yep.
And I mean, Aang was the last airbender, so I mean,
That's true. I mean, I guess that's not even an answer, really.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You might want to, but you can't.
Yeah.
You
get dibs on that.
I'm gonna be boring here and say the same as you. Say the waterbending. I've never seen the show, so I don't really know much about these four different types of bending. I just know for sure I would not say fire, because fire kind of scares the shit out of me, and I don't want that. I don't want that anywhere near me. That's like my main reasoning. But no, waterbending seems to have the most possibilities.
Yeah.
Just off the top of my head, anyway. I'm gonna have to watch the show to really know, but yeah, I'd have to say the same there. Mostly due to my fear of fire.
Nice.
Okay, here's a fun one, and it's a twofer.
Okay.
So in remakes, adaptations, and so on, there's often changes made to the original, like the source material.
Yep.
This is pretty common. A lot of people don't like this, and we're a little more forgiving than most. So what I want to know is, what change made in a adaptation or remake pissed you off the most, and at the same time, what change do you think actually improved the source material?
Jesus, that is a tough question.
I've got a couple.
Okay, I've got an answer for one part, and I just got to think of the other one.
Okay. So I'm pretty forgiving of this stuff. I know a lot of people like to stick to how it was originally. I'm pretty loose with it. The two that I thought of for the one that pissed me off. Number one, Harry Potter. In the books, well, spoiler alert, Dobby dies. And in the books, Dobby is there from like the second book onward. I think he's in almost every book. And when he dies, it's obviously sad because this is a character you know and love. Whereas in the movies, they bring him in for like the second movie, and then you never see him again until he shows up and dies. And
yeah,
it's kind of like, oh hey, I forgot about that guy. Oh no, he's dead now. And I thought that was like, they literally only brought him back to make people cry.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. And the other one is Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes, which, like, yeah, everything about that movie pissed me off a little bit. But the ending and how, if you're not familiar with Planet of the Apes, the original ends with the main character finding out that he's been on Earth the entire time, and the apes have turned it into their own planet, because he finds part of the Statue of Liberty. In Tim Burton's, he gets away from the ape planet and flies back to Earth to then find that it's in the future, and it's the same idea that it is Earth, but like there's like monkey cops, and the Abe Lincoln monument is a monkey, and it's, oh god, fuck that movie. But the one I want to say that I really, really like, the change that I do love, I've been kind of obsessed with The Iron Giant lately. I keep watching it over and over. It's becoming one of my favorite movies.
Nice.
And basically, every change they made from the book, because the book is nothing like the movie. It's like the book is absolutely batshit. It's about an Iron Man who comes from space and destroys a bunch of cities and then fights some kind of alien beast. And they basically took that and turned it into one of the greatest animated movies ever made. So, all those changes, A+. And I hope I bought you enough time to come up with an answer.
Again, I have an answer for the first one, but I'm not sure about the second part.
Okay.
Maybe by talking about the first one, I'll draw myself to a conclusion on the second one, but the change from the source material that pissed me off the most was in X-Men 3: The Last Stand.
Oh.
The Juggernaut, bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Juggernaut is so fucking powerful. Like, he is Hulk level.
Yep.
Besides that, Kane Marco has this incredible backstory. He's the stepbrother of Charles Xavier. And to be fair, he's not a mutant. His powers are derived from magic. He is the avatar of the demon Sidorak. And I enjoy Vinnie Jones, but just, like, the way he was portrayed in that movie, they didn't touch anything on him being related to Charles at all, even though they did encounter each other right before Charles died. So they took that part out. He looked nothing like the fucking comics. Behaved nothing like the comics. Not nearly as strong as he should have been. And then, when he gets close to Leech, when Leech and Shadowcat are running away from him, he comes in proximity to him, loses his powers, and runs headlong into a wall, knocking himself out.
Yeah.
So, quite possibly one of my favorite characters in the X-Men universe just, completely ruined. Like, they could have done an entire movie in the X-Men universe just on the Juggernaut. They touch on the relationship between Kane and Charles and their backstory and, like, how Kane fought in the Vietnam War and everything like that. And then, his grudge against Charles, he comes in, destroys the mansion, takes Charles, takes him prisoner. And Charles can't do shit about it because Kane's helmet blocks out psychic attacks. Not just to keep me face pretty, as they say in the movie. And they could have done a kick-ass X-Men movie about that. Like, there's been times in the comics where the only way to stop the Juggernaut was to actually bargain with the demon Sidorak to be all like, hey, you should take the powers away from Kane and give them to this guy because he would be a better avatar for you. And the demon was like, yeah, you got a point. Takes Kane's powers, and Juggernaut is therefore shut down. And so the powers temporarily went to, like, Colossus or someone.
Nice.
But yeah, like, to take someone that level and just turn it into what they did, that pissed me the fuck off, and it still pisses me off if you can't tell from how I'm ranting about it.
This was the point of the question.
Yeah, but source material being better than the source material, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
Oh well. If you think of something later, you can come back to it.
Better than the source material. Iron Fist on Netflix.
Oh.
No, definitely not.
No, not quite. Not quite.
No.
Okay. What do you got for your next question?
My next question is, if you had to choose something for yourself to wield, would you choose Mjolnir or a fully loaded Batman utility belt?
Are you able to wield Mjolnir, or?
For the sake of the question, we will assume that we are worthy of wielding Mjolnir.
Okay.
Personally, I would go with the hammer.
Yeah. Like, what are the circumstances? Like, do I have to fight somebody? Or...
You just have it. You could use it for whatever you want. You could build a porch if you want.
Oh, man. I feel like if you have Mjolnir and the power to wield it, the expectations are maybe a little higher than if you just happen to own some really cool and powerful tech.
Yeah.
Like...
I mean, the variety is there with the utility belt, because Batman has so many gizmos and gadgets.
Oh, yeah. But, like...
Personally, I would go with Mjolnir.
Yeah. There is that, like...
I mean... You know, it grants flight.
Yeah, that's a good one, hey. Do you just have the belt, or, like... How much tech do you have here?
I was thinking, like, batarangs, bolas, the smoke bombs, the explosive foam spray stuff.
Yeah.
All the hacking devices in there.
You know what?
Not the back credit card, though.
Oh, shit. Well, that changes everything. No, you know what? Thinking about it more, like, in terms of combat style, like when I play video games and whatnot, I like the stealth side of things, and I feel like the Bat Belt kind of gives you more stealth options than Mjolnir does.
Mjolnir basically gives you, like, throw the hammer, smash with the hammer, fly, and potentially shoot lightning. 4 options at max.
Yeah.
You got a lot more options with utility belt.
Yeah, you know, I think I'd have to go Bat Belt because A, I like options, and B, the expectations would be far lowered. Like, nobody expects the same shit out of Batman as they expect out of Thor. So
that's fair.
I set the bar low, like you said, man.
There you go.
The bar is on the ground. Moving on to my next one here, which is let me see, what are we at now? Level number 7, I think.
I just asked my 4th question, so this will be your 4th.
Okay, number 8. Okay, this is a short and sweet one. What would you say is the best song from a Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack?
Oh, god damn it.
Like, it doesn't even have to be the best song in general, but the best Tony Hawk song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 1 second. I gotta whip out my phone for this. Yeah. I have a playlist on my phone on Spotify that is songs just from the Tony Hawk soundtracks.
Me too.
So I'll scroll through that while you give your answer.
Like, there's a lot of really classic ones, but if I'm picking one that I would picture, like, playing Tony Hawk, and this is what I want playing, I'm going Guerrilla Radio by Rage Against the Machine.
pretty good one.
That was my first experience with Rage Against the Machine as well, and I fucking love Rage. Yeah, that's like there were a couple close picks, but I'll wait for you to say yours first.
Part of me wants to say Psycho Vision by Suicidal Tendencies.
Ooh.
Big Shots by Idea and Abilities is one of the best hip-hop songs that's been on the soundtracks.
Nice.
Let me see. Express Yourself by NWA was a good one.
Oh yeah, I fucking love that song anyway.
Savoir Faire by Rocket to the Crypt. My Adidas, Run DMC.
Nice. That's a good playlist.
I'm almost to the end of the list, so
yeah. I've got 3 more that came close for me. And I'm surprised you haven't listed any of them, actually. Superman by Goldfinger.
That was a close one.
No Cigar by Millencolin.
Love that song.
And from Tony Hawk's Underground, which I guess doesn't really count as a pro skater game, but whatever. Armageddon by Alkaline Trio.
Yeah.
That was
getting Alkaline Trio was on there.
That was the first time I ever heard Alkaline Trio as well.
You know what? If I gotta pick one, all those other songs I said were really good. But if I gotta pick one that, when I hear the song, the first thing I think of is Tony Hawk, I gotta go with American Werewolf in Calgary by the Browns.
Oh, I forgot about that one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the songs that, like, you only really know from that game. Which one is that in, 2?
That is either in 4 or one of the Undergrounds.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. I always get the soundtracks mixed up.
4 is the one I played the most, because 4 is actually my favorite Tony Hawk game.
Nice.
Unpopular opinion.
Yeah, well...
there's another song, too, that Biz Markie did with Chad Muska.
Wow.
Because Chad Muska also does the Muska Beat DJing stuff. Can't remember what the song's called, but I remember that one being really good, too.
Nice. Okay, so we're 8 questions in, and these topics are fucking all over the place.
Oh, yeah. And to jump to a completely new topic.
Yep.
If you were a Pokemon gym leader, they all have their type that they stick to.
Yep.
What type would you use? Based on, like, you know, what type you like, what type you think is cool, your personality, so on and so forth.
That's a good question.
Me, personally, I think, like, sometimes I think most often, just like most of the time when I do, like, monotype challenges,
yep.
I think I'd go with Poison.
Nice.
I like me a lot of Poison Pokemon. Funny enough, Crobat, the final form of Zubat, is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I've used them in so many playthroughs. And I think Crobat would probably be my ace. I like Crobat, I like Mega Beedrill, I like Toxicroak. Throw a Muck in there.
Yeah.
So many good poison Pokemon. Plus, I mean, poisoning your opponents is such a good strategy. The playthrough I'm doing now, I'm building up a Tentacool, and that, like, as soon as I got that leveled up to be on par with the rest of my team, it started wrecking house. I lead every fight with it, throw out some toxic spikes, and then all my opponents that come into the battle after that get poisoned, and it has the move Venoshock on it, which does its 65 base power, which doubles if the opponent is poisoned. And this Tentacool is just sweeping everything, and it's the only Pokemon in my party that is not evolved yet.
Nice.
And it is wrecking house.
Good pick.
Hell yeah.
Usually I tend to lean towards water type.
Cool.
But I think in the event of this, if I was to be a gym leader, I'd want, like, I feel like water type is too easily taken care of. Like, I feel like everybody has something in their six to take out water types.
Yeah.
So you kind of need like a curveball type if you want to be effective at all. And
yeah.
I'm gonna base this entirely on what has become, like, I don't play Pokemon very often, but in the last couple games I played, what has become my favorite Pokemon to use, Gengar. So I'd go Ghost type.
Nice.
And I mean, I tend to, like, personality wise, I watch a lot of horror. I go towards I'm really big on the idea of actual ghosts. So, you know, I'd base a gym leader around ghost types. And
solid choice.
Yeah. Poke myself in some spooky mansion somewhere or some shit. You know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's my answer. Oh yeah, that means it's my question. Look at that.
Sure does.
And it's funny, like, I didn't even realize this. I was talking about ghosts and spookiness, and that kind of leads into the next question. And this is not something we've ever talked about at all, but who would you say, off the top of your head, is the most terrifying serial killer of all time?
Most terrifying serial killer?
Yeah.
Are we talking, like, real life?
Oh yeah, real life serial killers.
Ooh.
Which, like, as much as, you know, these people are criminals, they're terrible human beings, they have become part of pop culture in a way. And it's not to say, like, some people kind of idolize them, and I don't like that idea. I think that's terrible. We should, like, I feel like you can talk about these people while still making it clear that, yes, they are terrible human beings, and, you know, they shouldn't be put on any pedestals unless they don't like sitting on stools, like we said earlier. So I've got two that always I found to be the most frightening. Number one, H.H. Holmes is fucking scary as shit. If you don't know who H.H. Holmes is, he's a little bit further back time-wise than a lot of the popular serial killers are. And
Well, his house was the thing that, like, basically horror movies are based on.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. Like, in the 1800s, he had this house built, and he went to the lengths of getting different people to build different rooms and not giving anyone the blueprints, so no one knew the layout of this house, and he had trap doors and, like, secret hallways and all this shit in this house he had built. And he just killed, basically, he rented the rooms, so it was basically a hotel. And he just, like, the body count, one second, I'm going to get the body count. It's insane, the amount of people with that. He confessed to 27 murders, but the number's probably closer to 200. people that he killed, and like, oh my god, looks like, I'm pretty sure it is recorded that he killed someone and sent their, like, donated their skeleton to like a classroom, you know, the classroom skeleton type thing. I'm pretty sure he actually did that. And
I think so.
yeah, so H.H. Holmes is totally fucked up. It's definitely worth reading about. And the second one, and the more recent, is Richard Ramirez.
Yeah.
The Night Stalker, I believe they called him.
Yeah.
And
I was pentagram on his palm.
Yeah, yeah. And the reason I found him to be so scary is because he didn't, like, most serial killers have a type. You know, like, they only kill blonde women, or they only kill, you know, like, a certain area of town or something like that. But, like, his killings were all completely random. He just killed whoever. Like, he'd be walking down the street, he'd see a house, he'd say, fuck it, I'm gonna break into this house and kill whoever's inside. And, like, he only got caught by mistake. Like, he fucked up and got caught just on chance. They weren't onto him at all. So, yeah, those are my picks. And serial killers are sort of a just an interest of mine. I find them fascinating, and I've been wanting to find a chance to talk about them on this show for a while now.
Trying to find the name of one that has always stuck out in my mind. John Wayne Gacy is one, because the whole clown thing,
yeah.
I mean, that has such an influence on popular culture and horror movies. Like, would we have Pennywise the Clown if not for John Wayne Gacy?
No. Like, I think it was written a couple of years after John Wayne Gacy got caught. I think it's like a direct influence.
Also, shit, what was his name? Ed Gein.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So many horror movies were based on him.
Texas Chainsaw, right? Was the big one.
Texas Chainsaw, Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing about John Wayne Gacy that's fucking terrifying is he was just like a pretty normal married guy, and his wife had no idea that he had bodies of 14-year-old boys hidden under in a crawl space, like underneath their garage. Like,
yep.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, I hope you have.
I can't find the name of this guy that I'm thinking about.
Okay, what? Tell me about him. What's he like?
But he was a cannibal.
Cannibal. Okay. Oh. Dahmer?
Nope.
Not Dahmer. Okay.
For some reason, the name Fish is sticking out to me.
Albert Fish.
Albert Fish. I'm gonna just give that a quick Google just to make sure it's the guy I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Albert Fish is pretty fucked up. I don't know as much about him as the others, but I know.
One of the things that this is him. Werewolf of Wisteria, the Brooklyn Vampire.
Yep.
When they went to put him in the electric chair, he shorted out the electric chair because he had inserted pins and needles into his penis and groin.
Yeah.
And when the first time they went to electrocute him, they didn't know about this, and he shorted out the fucking chair.
Good. Great. Sounds like a nice guy.
Yeah. And I always just thought that was just insane.
Yeah.
And so he's one, like, that story has always, like, stuck in my mind whenever anyone starts talking about serial killers.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was blanking on his first name. But, yeah, Albert Fish.
Oh, I'm going to throw one more name out there. Dennis Rader, the BTK killer. He was just a really average married guy who was just murdering women on the side, and it's creepy because he has zero remorse. Like, most serial killers either get remorseful or they seem to have some sort of insanity going on, but he is completely lucid, remembers everything, and has no remorse. Does not regret anything he did.
Shit.
Yeah, he's another creepy son of a bitch.
Yup.
I hope you got something light for the next question.
If you could remove one character from the MCU, who would you remove?
Oh. From existing movies?
Someone who was in the MCU who you feel like was completely unnecessary. Maybe you thought that they were going to do something with this character, but they never did. Just someone who their role was completely just not necessary.
Well, I got one right away.
I said Sam Stearns.
Okay, yeah.
From The Incredible Hulk. If you know anything about the Hulk comics, Sam Stearns becomes the leader. Whereas Hulk has this big, massive body, Stearns has this gigantic head, and he's super smart.
Yeah.
And he was in The Incredible Hulk, and towards the end of it, like, he has an open wound on his head, and, like, sample of Banner's blood is dripping into it, and you see his head start to morph and swell. But then we don't hear or see anything else of him.
Yeah. That was...
And they've since gone on to, do, like, the Planet Hulk story and stuff like that, so it really doesn't seem like they're ever going to circle back to Stearns. Because why would they?
No, I forgot all about that.
Exactly. So they've basically just hinted at one of the Hulk's main villains and then just hoped everyone forgot about it.
Yeah. That's a good one.
And that got my hopes up for a while. Because
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, is this, are we going to get a second solo Hulk movie? Is he going to be the villain? And they... for nothing.
Yeah.
So I would remove Sam Stearns.
That's a good answer. And Tim Blake Nelson played him pretty well, too.
Yep.
I was going to say Maria Hill. What's her name? Kobe Smulders played her? Is that her name?
Yep.
Like, when was the last time we saw her?
She was in Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it's been a few years. Like, not that Maria Hill was always the most interesting MCU character, but I mean, you casted her well. You were doing a good job with, keeping her.
Have we seen her since? I don't even know if they've mentioned her since Winter Soldier.
I don't remember. Like, yeah, I know S.H.I.E.L.D. is basically no more, but I mean, you could still do something. Like, she still exists. I don't know. That was the first thing that popped in my head.
Apparently she's going to be in Infinity War.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they'll fix it.
But, like, she's Nick Fury's right hand. I get that.
Yeah.
Like, when everyone thought Fury was dead, she was the only one in the know.
That's true. Yep. Move on.
But she was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Age of Ultron.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
And Winter Soldier. But the last thing she's been in the MCU was in 2015.
Yeah, that's still 3 years, right?
Yeah. 3 years and a lot of movies have passed.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's confirmed she's in Infinity War.
Oh, okay.
I just read that, it's rumored she's there.
Yep. Okay, move on to the next one.
Yep.
I feel like you definitely have an answer for this. What would you say is your favorite martial arts movie of all time?
God damn.
I have an answer, and I'm not sure if this is a popular answer or not, but mine is basically the first martial arts movie I ever saw, and me and Dad used to watch this a bunch when I was a kid. Jackie Chan's Rumble in the Bronx.
That's a good one.
I used to watch that movie so fucking much. I had it on VHS, and it had the English dub, and I just remember the fight scenes being fucking insanely good in that movie. And I did see it before I saw any Bruce Lee, so I probably, if I was going with technically the best, I'd probably go elsewhere, but Rumble in the Bronx still has that special place for me.
There's a lot of good Jackie Chan movies.
Yeah, like pre Hollywood blockbuster Jackie Chan, when he was just breaking out in China.
Yeah. I might say Rush Hour 3. No.
Okay. I was like, wait, I haven't seen that one. Is that one surprisingly good, or?
There's a few Bruce Lee movies that are springing to mind right away, like The Big Boss, Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
Part of me wanted to say the first Matrix movie.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah.
Because there were some really good martial artsy fight scenes in that.
Yeah. It's that perfect combination of great martial arts and, really great special effects work.
Have you seen any movies with Tony Jaa?
I have not.
He does a lot of his own stunts, and I can't remember if it's Ong Bak or The Protector, but one of those two movies had the record for the longest single shot fight scene.
Nice.
And it's just following him up this big flight of stairs in a casino or something, or a restaurant or something, as he's beating his way through people. As for right now, I'm gonna say Ong Bak, or Ong Bak with Tony Jaa.
Nice. I've heard of that. I didn't know it was.
I haven't seen the sequels to it.
Yep.
But the first one is pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
You really should. I can't remember if it's that one or The Protector that has that single shot fight scene record, but yeah, Tony Jaa is a monster.
Awesome. Okay, next question.
Okay, I just had to refine myself on the list.
Yeah.
If you had to choose one or the other to play host to, would you choose a symbiote like Venom or Carnage,
Okay.
or would you choose the Mask from the Jim Carrey movie?
Oh. Oh, that's such a good question. Can you say both?
No.
Um,
And if you have an answer for it, if you pick the symbiote, which symbiote would you choose?
oh. I'm gonna say the Mask.
Okay.
Because, here's my reasoning. Like, I feel like you're not really in control either way. Like, you know, it's hard to really control yourself under the influence of either. But I feel like that Venom symbiote has a little more evil going on, a little more destruction. Like, the Mask does stir up some shit, but I feel like I probably wouldn't kill anybody with the mask on.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the Mask, it basically exaggerates the type of person you are. Like, when Stanley Ipkiss puts on the mask, he becomes this wacky, zany, like, cartoon character.
Yeah.
When the mob boss guy puts the mask on, he becomes this evil, like, type thing.
Yeah. Man, here's a... Wait, side question, side tangent. Is the guy who plays the mob boss in The Mask in anything else, or do I just weirdly remember his face?
I'm going to search his ass up on IMDb.
Because, like, I can picture him perfectly.
I can, too. And I can picture him, like, with the mask on being all fucking evil and shit, too.
Like...
Peter Green.
Peter Green, I have no idea who that is.
Let's see what else he was in. He was in Pulp Fiction,
Pulp Fiction,
Blue
yeah.
Streak, Bounty Hunter.
I've seen...
Those aren't where I know him from.
Pulp Fiction? Who the fuck is he in Pulp Fiction? I have no idea. Anyway, yeah, no, and I feel like I'd be all right with the mask on. I feel like I don't really have too much of a destructive personality. So
No, I like to think I'd be pretty all right.
yeah.
He was Zed in Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, that's why I know him. Yeah, Zed's dead, baby. You know. Yeah, the ending with the gimp suit. Huh, okay. Yeah, wow, I can picture that perfectly now. That's interesting.
I'm still trying to figure out where else I know him from, because that wasn't what I was thinking. But, I just, like, as fun as the mask would be, and I see myself being a lot like, you know, Jim Carrey's character in the movie once the mask is on like that.
Yeah.
But just because of the powers and everything, I would pick the Venom symbiote.
Also a fun choice. Yeah. That was a really fun question.
I enjoyed that question. You know what? I don't think I know this guy from where I think I do.
Yep.
Because looking at a more recent picture of him, like I am at the moment, I got him. He looks today like Peter Weller.
Oh.
Him and Peter Weller played the original RoboCop.
Okay, yeah.
And that's who I was thinking of when I saw a recent picture of this guy.
Huh.
But yeah, to answer our question, I would choose the Venom symbiote, and you are going with the mask.
Yeah. Which,
I don't know if there's a more technical term for that mask, but I can't remember it.
I can't remember. I think they get into the mythology a little bit, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
And I guess that leaves the Carnage symbiote for Peter Green.
Yeah.
There you go. Number 14. Pretty simple question. What would you say is the best board game of all time?
Best board game?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And you can take this however you want. Like, you can go into the, I guess, like the tabletop RPG geeky stuff, but I was thinking more classic, family-friendly board games. The old Milton Bradley, you know.
There's a few that I really like to play, but I think I have my answer.
I'm stuck between two. I'd probably say, depending on how much time I have and how many people want to play, either Risk or Clue.
See, that's funny because those are two that I was thinking. And I thought I was going to go with Clue. Emily and I have been playing Risk from time to time lately because we bought one of those board game packs for PlayStation.
Oh, nice.
And we've been playing a bit of Monopoly, a bit of Risk, and I love me some Risk on that.
Yeah.
But when I think back to board games that I played when I was like at the cabin or camping with my family growing up, Clue was one of the ones that we played the most. Like nights when the power was out at the house and Mom and Dad would break out the board games. Me and my sister would play Clue. Trivial Pursuit is another favorite of mine.
I love Trivial Pursuit.
I love Trivial Pursuit. So I'm going to say Clue with close runner-ups / honorable mentions being Trivial Pursuit, Apples to Apples.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And I'm going to throw Cards Against Humanity in there, too.
Well, Cards Against Humanity is basically like an adult Apples to Apples.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. That's basically just one choice. You like that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I really like Risk and Clue because on one side of it, it's easy enough for anyone to pick up and play. If you got a room full of people, there's nobody there. It's not like everyone's gonna get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a lot of strategy you can put into one of those games. You can actually get good at it. So it's really good for beginners and experts, and you can play with 2 people. You can play with like half a dozen people.
There's one that I played the fall in St. John's, and I'm still like I wouldn't be able to explain all the rules to you right now. I played it with Emily and a bunch of her friends because they had game nights a couple times, and I was handy for one of them. They played a game called Secret Hitler.
Okay. Sure.
And it was actually a lot of fun.
Nice.
Like, 2 people have to be the fascists, one fascist is Hitler, but the only people who know who the fascists are the 2 fascists. And no one else knows, and the whole point of the game, like, is trying to figure out basically like which character is Hitler before like certain policies get passed or whatever, before like the fascists take over.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
I'm doing a piss poor job of explaining it.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure there's more to
like,
it. But,
I was a little like when they asked me if I wanted to play a game called Secret Hitler, but once we got playing it, it was a lot of fun.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I guess now is the halfway point. Question number 15, right?
Yep.
We're like an hour and a half into this episode. So.
Well, no, we're not an hour and a half into this episode because you and I were chatting a bit before we actually started recording.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
Our call time is an hour and a half.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, so my next question for you. If you had to cosplay in character for a full year, who would you pick?
For a full
year? For a full year, you had to stay in character.
Oh, God.
Like, you gotta go to work, social events, everything in character.
Yeah, I got one.
I want to go as a member of the Men in Black.
Nice.
You wear a suit. I mean, that it's more socially acceptable than running around dressed as Spider-Man. And you can play off like the cool, like, secret agent type shit.
Yeah.
And get to play around with a little mind eraser thing and pretend there's aliens everywhere, and it just seems like a fun time, but you can still make it, socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Plus, those movies are a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, they are. I'd have to go with Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers. Because, like, honestly, I wouldn't have to change much about my personality at all. Like the changes would be Bob is balding.
Barely noticeable?
Bob is balding, and he has a mustache instead of a full beard. And, yeah, that's most of it. Like, I don't have to do much. And, I feel like with, like, yeah, like, the standard costume would be the apron, but that's not the only thing Bob Belcher wears, so technically I can, change my outfit and actually wear my work uniform. Technically. If I'm just
looking at my future questions, and only 2 of them are even remotely vanilla.
Okay, good. Okay, that's the halfway point. Let's move this right along. And how many fucking times am I gonna say that in this episode? God damn it! You got the Muppets in my head. Okay, here's actually perfect timing. Speaking of music and songs getting stuck in your head, what would you say is the greatest parody song ever written? Which, I mean, it's basically the same question as what is the best Weird Al song?
Yeah.
I mean, I assume you're not going to come up with something other than Weird Al. I don't know any other great parody music.
There are some good ones, but Weird Al is the king.
He is. He's the Polka King.
Yeah. I love some of the mashups he does.
Oh, yeah.
Like the medleys.
Yeah.
Alternative Polka is really good. Polka Face is really good.
Yep.
But I'm either going to have to say Eat It.
Nice. Because
there's a guitar solo in there that shreds. It is better than the original.
Yeah.
Amish Paradise is really good too, though.
That was like the first Weird Al song I knew.
See, I've been listening to Weird Al for years. Like, I was getting Weird Al on cassette before CDs were even a thing.
Nice.
Like, I was in, like, grade 3 and 4 getting Weird Al cassettes for my birthday from my parents. And, funny enough, there are pictures from my birthday parties as a child that I can tell you that I'm listening to Weird Al in that picture because of what I'm doing and how I'm dressed. There's a picture of me using a Transformer toy as a microphone with a pair of boxer shorts on over my pants, and I know that I'm listening to Weird Al when I'm doing that, and that is at like my 8th or 9th birthday party. I can like picture it so vividly.
That's fucking
It
great.
is in a photo album at my parents' house.
That picture should be on a Jedi Dropouts t-shirt.
Next time I go out to visit my parents, I will try and find it.
Yeah. For me, the impressive thing about Weird Al is how perfectly he can recreate some of the sounds on these albums. Like, he goes all out in perfecting it. And if I'm gonna pick the best, I'm gonna have to go with something that I think I enjoy more than the original. So my pick is either Gump, which parody of Lump by Presidents of the United States of America, or Yoda, which is so much fun and is the parody of Lola. I can't remember who sings the original, but I fucking love both those songs. And
the parody he does of what is it, American Pie?
yeah, The Saga Begins.
Yes. That I just couldn't remember what he called his version. Smells Like Nirvana is so good too.
What's really cool about The Saga Begins is it's like telling the story of the Phantom Menace, of course, but the movie wasn't out then, and he had to like go on message boards and piece together leaks to try and guess what the movie was about when he was writing it.
And he nailed it.
Yeah, it's he nailed it. That's a really fun song too, actually. Yeah.
God, Weird Al's so good.
He is.
Now you're making me want to watch my Weird Al DVD.
Nice. What one is that?
I have a DVD of one of his live performances from the Apocalypse tour he did a couple of years back.
Yeah. Okay. Move on. Question number 17.
This one might be a bit of a thinker for you.
Okay.
Avengers hockey.
Okay.
The Avengers have started a hockey team.
Yep.
Pick your starting line, including goaltender.
Okay. That's a good one.
I'm gonna throw my picks out there.
Yeah, go for it.
Up front, I would have Thor as center.
Yep.
The wings, I would have Hawkeye and Black Panther.
Yep.
On defense, I would have Scarlet Witch and the Vision.
Nice.
And in the crease, I would have Scott Lang.
Oh. Okay, I see. Yeah. And I assume that the powers are all fair game here?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let me see. This is a thinker, you're right. I'm gonna go. I think in net I'm gonna go with Doctor Strange.
Nice.
Need some big, bruising defensemen, so I'm gonna say Hulk, who would barely fit on the rink, and who's another? I guess Thor and Hulk as the big, bruising defenseman. I love the idea of Hawkeye on the wing because he would be such a sniper.
Exactly.
Yeah, and let me see. can't think of the. I'm trying to think of something great for a center, but I'm not really landing on anything. I'm gonna say Captain America is center just because you gotta have your face of the team, your captain. I mean, who's a better captain than Cap himself? And I guess I'd go Winter Soldier on the wing because it's nice to have a center and a winger with really great chemistry. That's
nice.
That's what I'm going with. There you go. That's a good question.
I really enjoyed thinking up that question.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You managed to put hockey in there for me. Okay, I got a thinker here for you.
All right, let's hear it.
What current TV show would you give a 10-season renewal to? Now, implications here. No matter how much that show goes downhill, they have to air all 10 of these renewed seasons. So that's the thing. Like, you could just pick your favorite show, but do you really want 10 more seasons? Or should you end it when it, like obviously the obvious choice for me will be Stranger Things, but no, I don't think Stranger Things needs that many seasons.
No, definitely not.
So my picks, to bring it back to something earlier, Bob's Burgers or Rick and Morty, because I feel like the creators are really like the stuff they're coming up with episode after episode is just gold. They're I would say my favorite cartoons on air, and I would easily watch 10 more seasons of either of these shows. And especially with like Rick and Morty and how hard it is for them to even get a season out, like a 10-season renewal will be fucking awesome. So yeah, that's my pick there. I'm sure.
I was thinking. I honestly thought Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super type thing.
Oh yeah.
Because I do love me some of that.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, it's basically the same plot over and over.
Well, yeah.
Stronger enemy appears. Goku and Vegeta struggle to get strong enough to fight them. They eventually do overcome it. A couple people, like Krillin dies, and rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't grow tired of Dragon Ball Z.
No.
Or Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
GT can fuck off somewhere. But yeah, I'll say Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah. Good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Question
Okay.
number 19.
If you were having a bachelor party
Okay.
and you had to invite one stand-up comedian, not to perform at your bachelor party, but to be just a member of like your friend group for said bachelor party,
Okay.
which stand-up comedian would you choose?
Huh. Well, that is...
My initial thought went to Hannibal Buress just because I think he's really funny.
Yep.
But I wound up going with Brian Posehn
Oh, yeah.
because he's fucking hilarious, but he's also, he loves heavy metal, and he loves comic books and Stephen King and all kinds of shit like that, so I think he would fit right in with the crowd that I would be hanging out with.
Yeah. That is a really good one. I'm trying to remember who are some stand-up comedians. Because honestly, with everything that happened over the fall and the big sort of blowing up of Hollywood,
Yep.
my two favorite stand-up comedians were outed as fucking scumbags.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously neither of them. Does Donald Glover count? He does stand-up.
Yeah, he has a special on Netflix, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
It's called Weirdo.
Yeah, I guess he would count, wouldn't he?
Yep.
See, now you know what? I think the one that would actually fit in the best with my friends group, Kumail Nanjiani from fucking Jesus Christ, Silicon Valley and The Big Sick. He's done a few stand-up specials now. Either Kumail Nanjiani or Hari Kondabolu, the guy who did The Problem with Apu, that documentary. He's got a couple stand-up albums.
Nice.
I think I lean Kumail because he is political, but he's very, very fucking geeky as well. Like,
Nice.
he's a self-admitted X-Files obsessee. Is that the word?
I don't know.
Obsessor. I'm not sure. He's hooked on the X-Files. Yeah, and he's a big gamer too. He's at a gaming-based podcast called The Indoor Kids, I think. Yeah, no, I'd go Kumail there, I think.
Nice.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. That's a good question too. Although it was definitely hard to think of a hypothetical situation where I'd be having some sort of bachelor party as if I was getting married or something.
Yeah.
So question number 20. What would you say is the worst video game in an otherwise great series? Like the
that one is pretty easy for me.
Yeah, the Black Sheep, like a great gaming series, and then they fucked up just that one time.
Yep.
What you got?
I'm gonna say the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon
Oh,
for Pokemon main series.
Ooh, really? That bad?
It's like I've played through every other generation of Pokemon more times than I can count. I just finished replaying Gen 4, and then I jumped to Gen 6, and then I'm going to do Gen 5 again. And I play these games on my break at work. Like, I always have my 3DS in my work bag with a Pokemon game in it to play in my downtime on my breaks. And with how many times I've played through all the other generations of Pokemon, I beat Moon, and then got halfway through Sun, put it down, took me ages to pick it up and finish Sun, and then Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out, and they were supposed to be like the sequels to those games.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that they fixed a lot of the issues I had, and they had not. And it kind of just made it worse because the games had, like, the first ones had very little replay value, and then they changed very little in the sequels, which really gave it even less replay value. So I got through Ultra Moon just because I wanted to make it right to the end to see what had changed. And then I'm still, like, 6 months later, only at, like, the second of 4 islands in Ultra Sun. Like, I just can't will myself to get through this game. And Pokemon is probably, like, Pokemon, Mega Man, Zelda, like, Pokemon is right up there in my top 5 gaming franchises of all time. Particularly main series Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I just cannot force myself to even finish Ultra Sun. Because I played Ultra Moon, I got through it, like, I forced myself to get through it. And now I know exactly what I'm in for with Ultra Sun. Like, I know where all the dialogue's going to be. I know exactly where to go. Like, there's no getting lost. There's no adventure. It's just like, go here now. Go here now. We're going to heal your team so you don't lose anyone. It's just like, oh my god, all the dialogue and just hand-holding, and there's no adventure to it.
Yeah.
It's painful for me.
I had no idea I was opening up such a bag of rant there. I had no idea I was touching on something there.
Yeah, you definitely struck a nerve with that one.
Well, I'm just gonna say the title of this game here. And I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Street Fighter, the movie, the game.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I hadn't even heard of that before, but it just made me cringe.
Oh man, I vaguely remember playing it when it came out because I remember the movie, and the movie's painful enough, but man, like, you're taking one of, like, arguably the best fighting game series of all time, making a bad movie out of it, and then making a bad game out of that movie. And,
yep.
Oh god, like, they tried to do the Mortal Kombat thing with the photorealistic characters, but it looks so bad because, like, the hitboxes are so off that, like, characters kind of phase through each other, and like, it's worth, if you want to get a good chuckle in, it's worth looking up. And it's the only Street Fighter game that I wouldn't recommend, and I haven't even played all of the Street Fighter games, but I would openly recommend games I haven't played over this thing, just because I know. So 20 questions in, 10 to go.
Yep.
What's next? Where are we going?
This one kind of stays on the same theme as my last question about the bachelor party.
Yep.
If you had to pick one person from each of these universes to make up your wedding party,
Okay.
like, these are going to be your groomsmen, and you have to pick one person from each of the following universes, who would be in your wedding party? Star Wars, Harry Potter, MCU, DCEU, and DBZ.
Okay. Wow. Well, you go ahead and tell me your answer, and I'll try and come up with something here.
Well, we could take it one universe at a time if you want.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Let's go with Star Wars first. I picked Qui-Gon Jinn.
Good pick.
You know, he's a little bit mischievous for a Jedi, but not Anakin level where you're just like, Jesus Christ, like, he's run off again. Like, stressing you out type stuff, and, like, you know, he's a little bit sly, like, with how he, like, made that bet with Watto and kind of, like, used the Jedi force powers to manipulate the dice and kind of, like, you know, gave that little sly wink at the end of it.
Yep.
He seems like a guy who would be pretty chill but also down for fun.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going Chewbacca.
Nice.
Because of all the characters in Star Wars, Chewbacca is the one I would most want to be friends with.
Well, yeah. Wookiees are more intelligent than they seem, and they're, like, so loyal.
Yeah. Lando was a close second, but I'm going Chewbacca.
Nice.
Harry Potter, I guess, is the next one, right?
Harry Potter.
That's tough.
I picked George Weasley.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was thinking, like, who's the most fun in the Harry Potter universe? And first thought was obviously the Weasley twins. But I was like, no, I can't pick both of them.
No.
And then I remembered one of them dies.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler
so
alert.
I picked the one that didn't die.
Oh, man. It still hurts. After all these years. That's a tough question. I think, like, okay, you need that one level-headed friend to keep everybody in check.
Yep.
So I'm gonna say Remus Lupin.
Cool.
Yeah, I always liked Lupin. I always thought he was pretty cool. And I feel,
Sick.
he was. Well, actually, if we're going chronologically, I guess he's dead too. Shit.
Well, the only reason I picked someone like who wasn't dead is because I couldn't pick both twins.
Yeah.
So that was really my tiebreaker.
I'm gonna pick Victor Crumb because I don't want anyone to have any fun at all. That guy seems like the biggest buzzkill.
Yeah. Buzz Tillington.
Yeah. What's next? MCU?
Yeah. I said Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because when I think of what I want to do at my bachelor party and everything like that, like, one of the things I want to do is go to Jackax's.
Oh, yeah.
And I would love to see some of the cool trick shot shit Hawkeye would be able to pull off when we're out throwing axes.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good answer. So, this extends to anybody in the MCU, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I got my answer. I want Lewis from Ant-Man, played by Michael Pena.
Nice.
I want him there, and I want him to, like, the next day tell everybody what we did the night before, because that's going to be the most entertaining part, is getting him to tell the story.
Yeah.
Now we got DC.
DC Extended Universe.
DC Extended Universe.
A lot less material to pick from.
Yeah.
I went with Barry Allen.
Okay, yeah. Good pick.
He was easily the comic relief of Justice League.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This one is tougher. Not a lot of fun people.
Nope.
Not really. Struggling with this one a little bit. My god. DC Extended Universe. Fucking Christ. Oh, what about, I can't even remember the character's name. Man. I feel like there was a guy in Wonder Woman who was a bit of fun.
Was it the guy who was like Scottish or whatever?
Oh yeah, Charlie. There you go. He was played by that guy from Trainspotting, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was also in Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that guy. He seemed like he was up for a good time. I mean, don't know him too well. Hopefully he's not.
That was a good pick. Man, I wasn't even thinking about those guys.
I was honestly just trying to think of times that were fun in those movies that weren't fun because of the action. As much as, like, I mean, yeah, obviously Jason Momoa would be good to take to Jackasses, but Aquaman, maybe not the kind of guy I'd hang around with.
No.
So now we got Dragon Ball Z to fill out these wedding parties.
Yep.
I
say Krillin.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You pick one of the Saiyans, you're not going to have any food left.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to inhale it all. Piccolo is so stern and... Yamcha would end up dying somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch the show, like, Krillin's actually a fair bit of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Loyal, he's, competitive, but he's still, like, a lot of fun. He's pretty grounded as far as the Z fighters go.
Yep.
So I'd pick Krillin.
Good pick. I'm going Master Roshi.
Oh my god, yes.
He'd be fun. Like, with that...
He would be a lot of fun.
With that group of people, you always need the old guy who's been there and he knows how to have a good time at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun question. And might have to make some last minute changes to my wedding party. My question, and I feel like most of the people listening to this are of the right age and of the right, I guess, nationality to understand this. What was your favorite part of 1990s YTV?
Favorite part of 1990s YTV?
Yeah, what sticks out the most?
Probably Snit.
Yeah. That's basically what I said. The Zone with PJ, Freshville, and Snit.
Yep.
It's between that and Video and Arcade Top 10.
Oh my god, Nicholas Pickles.
Nicholas Pickles, yeah. Exactly. Like, I mean, a lot of the cartoons and shows you can go back and watch, but you can never get that shit back. Yeah. I basically just wanted to talk about the Zone and Snit.
Nice.
And I feel like they deserve some recognition as far as Jedi Dropouts go. What's next? Where we going?
If you were to take over hosting duties of The Late Show,
which one is
who would be your band leader?
Which one's The Late Show?
Just any of those late night shows. If you were to take over for Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, like any of them, if you were to take over one of those shows, who would be the leader of your house band?
That's a good one.
Part of me wanted to say Dave Grohl, because he's a really good musician, and from what I've seen in some interviews, he's pretty funny. But I ended up landing on Bo Burnham.
Oh.
Weird Al would also be a very good pick.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We're getting a bit of feedback, and I'm not sure why. Oh, wait a second. Maybe not. You still there?
Yep.
Okay. No, for some reason, my audio was coming back at me, and I couldn't tell why. Technical difficulties, but we'll leave them in. Band leader. I feel like all the big band leaders were drummers too.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. Not all of them.
We've had a few piano players, a few guitarists, but like Max Weinberg.
Yep.
Was a drummer.
Oh, I've got it. Fred Armisen.
He was one, wasn't he?
Was he one? I didn't know that.
Almost positive he was for a little while.
Oh, Well, shit. Okay. Well, good pick, whoever did that. No, I was just thinking of someone who could handle, like, top-notch musicianship and some comedy back and forth as well. And I mean, Fred Armisen, even though he's a comedian first, is an insanely good drummer. Not sure who else. I think Fred Armisen, even if...
Yeah, he's the band leader for the Seth Meyers show.
Oh. Well, shit. Okay, well, now that means I'm gonna have to come up with somebody else. But I don't have any other answers. I have no idea. Because Questlove is already such a big one, and Questlove is like one of my favorites ever.
Yeah.
For hilarity's sake, I'm gonna say Flava Flav, because I know he's an insanely good drummer, and like he is actually a really talented musician, but he's such a ridiculous character.
Yep.
So yeah, Flava Flav would be my band leader.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, you'd get your views. People would watch.
Oh god.
Okay. Oh, it's mine again. Okay, so we spend a lot of time talking about superheroes. A lot of Marvel, a lot of DC.
Yep.
Who do you think is the greatest non-Marvel or DC superhero?
Greatest non-Marvel or DC?
Yeah.
Kind of want to say Spawn.
Oh, good pick. Yeah. If for no other reason than launching the career of Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm sort of stuck between Hellboy and the Tick.
Very good choices.
I'd probably lean Hellboy, just because I think Hellboy's character design and the stories and like his whole background mythology is really, really good.
Yeah.
But I love the Tick. The Tick's hilarious. So if you're going for funny or if you're going for serious, one of the two.
Nice.
And I guess we should probably mention the Ninja Turtles too, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say the Ninja Turtles, but you said superhero.
Yeah.
And that was kind of singular, and I was like, my first instinct went to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but then I was like, no, because then I'd have to get into debating, like, which one.
But, yes, and none of them are really great on their own.
They're all good, but as a team, they're great.
Yeah, exactly. The dynamics between them is what makes the Ninja Turtles interesting.
Exactly, like they're all pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And like, while I do have my favorite Ninja Turtle, I don't know if I'd be able to say that they're the greatest superhero.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Special shout out to Kick-Ass.
Yes.
Dave Lazuski. Question number 25. We're getting through them. We are getting through them.
Okay, so one of these characters is coming after you, and the other one is protecting you from said character.
Okay.
Who would you rather protect you from the other? Batman or Iron Man?
I would rather have Batman protect me from Iron Man. Yeah.
That's the same thing I said.
Like, Batman definitely could easily fuck up Tony's suit, and you fuck up Tony's suit, and that's it. Down for the count.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to think...
That one, like, Iron Man seems so fantastic, but, like you said, without the suit, Like, you take both these guys' gadgets away and everything like that. Like, yes, they're both billionaires. They're both geniuses. But you take them both out of their suit, just put two men in a room.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne's the only one walking out of that room.
Oh, yeah. But, like, even as far as their suits goes, like, who has the, I guess, the easiest Achilles heel? I mean, a well-aimed batarang could take out that suit in seconds.
Yep.
Yeah. Good question, but I feel like we're
easy to answer.
Yeah, I feel like once you think of that angle, like, it's hard to really argue for Iron Man in that one.
Yep.
Now, if you're talking Tony Stark in suit versus just Bruce Wayne, maybe. But still maybe.
Yeah, but like, still, like, if he's gonna be able to, like, take a suit with a batarang, like, I'm sure he could do something with some loose debris or even a rock on the ground or something.
True. All the Iron Man fans are raging.
Let them rage. And that's not even me being, like, one of those uber Batman fanboys who's like, Batman always wins.
No.
No, Batman doesn't always win.
No.
There are lots of people who can beat Batman, but in this particular situation, I would choose Batman over Iron Man.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Moving on to my next one here. What established franchise would you like to see turned into a quality video game, and what genre of game? I'm going to quickly answer this one and say fighting games are what I play most of the time. And like, there are a lot of great fighting franchises, but I'd like to see more in the way of Injustice, where it's a great franchise turned into a great fighting game. And like, obviously a Marvel one would be fucking great, but I'd also like to see Blizzard try a fighting game and take all, like, the Diablo and Warcraft and Overwatch characters and put them into, like, a really well-designed fighting game. Because whatever Blizzard tries their hand at, whatever genre of game they try, they fucking do an excellent job with. Like, basically all of their games are considered one of the best of that genre. And from what I've played, I can't really argue. So, yeah, that's... You got anything?
The first place my mind went to was The Simpsons.
The Simpsons? What kind of game?
Fighting game, actually.
Oh, yeah? That'd be fun.
Yeah. One thing that would be kind of interesting is a mashup of different horror movie villains.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of like a Kingdom Hearts type thing where, like, you're going from world to world and, like, you're running into different people. So, like, you could have it so, like, for, like, the first level of the game, you're trying to get past, even do maybe, like, an Arkham Knight, Arkham City, you know, Arkham Asylum type game, where it's, like, big sandbox thing and you're running around and, like, for one part of the game, one part of the story or one part of the map or whatever, you're trying to get away from Jason. Another one is Michael Myers. Another one is Chucky. There's dream sequences with Freddy, kind of like the, you know, trippy shit that you had to deal with Scarecrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to say a sandbox type game featuring like the main staples of horror movies.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah. And like one of the characters you run into that gives you a hand and helps you out is Ash.
Nice. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Also going to throw this out there, and you're probably going to slap yourself for not thinking of it. Why doesn't Marvel just do a Daredevil-style Arkham game? Maybe?
Yeah, that would have been very, very good to have.
Yeah. I didn't come up with that idea. I saw that suggested in a comment years ago. I just an Arkham style game that is Daredevil, and I've kind of.
Well, I think that would just play really similar to the DLC missions for the Arkham games where you play as Nightwing.
Oh yeah, that would good point.
Because Daredevil's weapons are basically the same as Nightwing's Eskrima sticks, and their movement is very similar. Their style of fighting is very similar, so I think that's a good reason why that wouldn't pan out.
Yeah, good point. Anyway, we got 4 questions left.
My second last question.
Yep.
If you had to choose one or the other, would you sacrifice both of your legs for the abilities of Saiyan?
Mm-hmm.
Or would you sacrifice both of your arms for the abilities of a Kryptonian?
That's tough.
I even without sacrificing body parts, I would choose Saiyan anyway.
Yeah.
But I wound up saying Saiyan for this.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning. Because, I don't know, the idea of not having arms.
Not having arms sucks. And people are like, yeah, but legs, because, you need to move around, but both of these races can fly.
Yeah. Good point.
So you're able to get around without legs.
Yeah, that's true. You can just sort of hover.
The first thing I thought of was eating.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to eat with arms.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. I think No, now that I'm thinking about the fact that you can fly, I mean, if you lose your legs, you can, and you have the ability to fly, you could just sort of hover at your previous height.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm siding with you there.
What do you got for your second last question?
What would you say is the greatest entrance in the history of professional wrestling? Which is...
Are we talking their consistent entrance, or are we talking about this wrestler came out at this time during this event?
Okay, no, I'm going consistent. We're not talking the Skyline or the beer truck, monster truck sort of thing. No, consistent entrance music combined with the whatever shtick they have entering.
This is a really tough question.
I know, there's a couple big ones that are really, really hard to decide between. I'm just gonna go with my favorite wrestler of all time, Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah, that was one that was up there.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are maybe a couple that are probably better entrances, but that music combined with his entrance attire, he's got that flashy kind of armor on, and then the mid-ring pose and everything. Yeah, that one, that's the pinnacle of wrestling entrances for me.
I gotta give it up to The Rock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, Stone Cold was also a contender here.
Yep.
And Goldberg.
Undertaker.
And The Undertaker. And Kane.
Yep.
But The Rock. Like, fuck John Cena, first of all. But how many times as a kid were you watching, like, SmackDown, and someone would be in the ring giving a speech to get cut off by, if you smell, like,
yeah.
and every time you'd hear that, you'd jump out of your fucking chair with excitement.
Yep. Yeah.
Chris Jericho was a good one, too.
I'm also going to throw Ric Flair in there.
Yep.
With that classic music and the robe. His whole thing.
Hulk Hogan, too, but still, like, The Rock was just it.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many times where, like, it'd be like, who's the mystery opponent for this person going to be? And then the music, like, The Rock's theme starts, and you're just like, goosebumps.
Yep. Actually, I gotta throw in a couple more here. D-Generation X and the New Age Outlaws.
Yep.
And gotta go classic Ultimate Warrior. Just running headfirst into the ring.
Yeah. Another good one, Mick fucking Foley.
Oh shit! Yeah.
That car crash.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you see, like, Mankind limbering out.
There's some good ones.
Oh my god.
This is
Yep.
This is a topic we might need to go deeper in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely should.
Okay, what's your last question?
Okay. You're trapped in a school bus that is broke down on the side of the road.
Okay.
Outside of said school bus is either Jason Voorhees with 10 bears or Michael Myers with 15 wolves. Which would you rather take your chances trying to get away from?
Well, seems like you're fucked either way.
Yeah, basically.
Oh boy. Well, you said Jason and 10 bears, or Michael Myers and 15 wolves.
Yep.
Jesus. I'm gonna be realistic here and say I'm dying either way.
Oh yeah, like.
Yeah. So.
At this point, I'm just measuring how far away from the bus I would get in inches.
Yeah, just gonna say Michael Myers and the wolves to give myself a quicker death. I feel like the wolves would be quicker. No, you know what?
Yeah,
I think Jason, because I think Jason would just be in the bus. Like knowing Friday the 13th logic, he'd be outside the bus and then he'd be in the bus and then you'd be dead.
Yeah, you'd turn around to look at a bear and then you turn around, Jason would just be in the bus.
And then you'd have no head. Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like the quicker. Let's just get to business here, death. Because
the way I pictured it is, I'd be able to get further from bears than wolves because I don't know the statistics here, but in my head, wolves are faster than bears. But I saw me like getting further away from the bus, running from the bears, and then Jason just like throwing something that impales me with like bullseye accuracy.
Yeah.
Because Jason has thrown things more than Michael has.
Yeah, that's true. He's got better range.
Yep.
His ranged attack.
Which kind of makes up for the bears being slower than the wolves.
+5 ranged attack.
Exactly.
Want to move into question number 30? We actually made it through all this.
Let's give her.
Now, a lot of people don't like movie remakes at all. And I feel like, again, we're more forgiving of that. Like, there are remakes I like, there are remakes you like.
Yep.
What is a movie that you actually want to see remade? What do you want to see redone?
A movie I would like to see remade or redone.
That isn't already. Like, it's easy to think of one that's out that I like, but thinking of something you want to see remade that is a good enough premise that you would actually watch it, but wasn't done well enough that you actually like it that much. It's very specific. I'm going to go ahead with mine. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Nice.
Because they fucked that up so much. Like, that comic is one of my all-time favorites. I love League of Extraordinary Gentlemen to the point where it's probably my favorite Alan Moore comic, even more so than Watchmen.
Nice.
And that movie is just a fucking hot pile of garbage. Like, it is so bad. They did nothing that I like about it. And I watched it once, and I really don't know if I'm ever going to go back to it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's the time to do it. It's the golden superhero movie era.
This is a tough one. Like, part of me wants to say Fantastic Four, but we've tried that twice and flopped both times.
Which one? Which?
Both.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know.
We have 3 Fantastic Four movies, and all of them are garbage.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the movies that I like that haven't been done yet, and I'm drawing blanks.
I know they've done.
I want to say RoboCop, but then they've done that. They've redone Dredd. They've done, like, they're still doing Rocky movies. They're still doing Chucky movies.
Yeah.
They've done Halloween, Nightmare, Friday 13th. Most of my favorite film franchises have already been rebooted. Shit.
What about anything else in the line of horror, maybe?
I'm kind of thinking maybe Hellraiser.
Ooh, yeah.
We did get a Hellraiser movie a couple of years ago, and it was the only one that didn't have Doug Bradley as Pinhead, and it wasn't great.
Yeah. But, like...
So, I think that's what I would go with. I think I would go with a new Hellraiser, because, like, you watch the first Hellraiser, like, it's creepy as shit.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the practical effects in it are a bit dated.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the person with no skin and the person getting ripped in all directions by all those chains and hooks.
Yep.
Like, the effects are a bit dated, as much as I enjoy the movies. So I think I would like to see a new, like, pretty good budget Hellraiser movie.
Yeah. That's a good pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
Nice. And with that, we have answered the 30 questions. It was a long trek, but we made it.
Yep.
And I guess
pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I like switching it up a bit and doing something like this every now and then.
Keep it fresh.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess with that, that'll be a wrap on today's episode.
Yes, sir.
Plug a few things before we say goodbye here. And some of you may have listened to the first episode of the new Jedi Dropouts spin-off, Final Form.
Yeah, I actually listened to it a couple nights ago at work.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Thoughts? And if they're negative, maybe save it.
Good, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Good. If you haven't heard it yet, it's myself and Mitchell Clark talking anime and manga. And that is the whole thing. First episode, we just kind of did a general overview. And then from here on out, it looks like every episode is going to be talking about a new series or a movie, like just very focused on one specific thing. And
Nice.
the selling point is basically that Mitchell has watched most of this, and I have watched almost none of this. And I'm neck deep in anime right now, so it's getting pretty interesting.
So basically, you're being taught a master class on anime by a friend of ours.
Yeah, and we're recording it. That's basically what it is. Yeah, it's kind of like the Karate Kid, except a lot geekier and a lot sweatier, if that's even possible. And something else I'm going to plug here, because maybe by the time this is out, but like within the next week or so of the release of this episode, I'm going to start doing these short snippets and highlights of episodes on YouTube. So if you know someone who you think would enjoy our humor, but don't really have a couple hours to sit down and listen to the whole episode, these are sort of like tasters, like little samplers, highlights, funnier sections of our episodes, 5 to 10 minutes long, and you can just send them the link on YouTube, and they can enjoy a few chuckles, and if they like it, they can go check out the real thing. Wanna bring people in.
Yep.
And that's the whole idea, just to widen our audience.
Yep.
I think that's it.
For anyone who's a fan of video games,
Yes.
both playing or watching, we do have the Cornerbrook Twitch community group on Facebook. That even if you're not in the Cornerbrook area, feel free to join. We have a handful of people who stream fairly regularly, who are members, and they post links to their channels on Twitch, and they will sometimes announce when they're getting ready to stream. So yeah, if you yourself are interested in streaming yourself playing video games, you can join and post links and hopefully gain a few followers. Or if you're just interested in seeing if anyone in the group is playing something you'd like to watch, join the group. I'll accept you as long as you're not being a dick to other members of the group. And yeah, maybe you'll find something to watch to pass some time.
Mm-hmm. And anyone who breaks the rules and is being an asshole to other members of the group are brought out to the center of this of the town and flogged publicly.
Yep.
You know, the general rules, like most Facebook groups.
Yep.
And I guess the last thing to touch on is our next episode. Episode 32 of Jedi Dropouts is actually our 1 year anniversary.
Woo!
Like, it's slightly under the 1 year anniversary, but yeah, a year ago, even at this time, we were working on this podcast, and that's pretty fucking cool.
They don't grow up so fast.
They don't grow up at all.
No,
and that's the fun of it. If we grew up, you guys wouldn't enjoy this. I mean, you might not enjoy it now, but you would enjoy it even less. And I won't go into what exactly we're doing in the anniversary episode. And that's actually because, James, I haven't even told you the outline for this episode yet, so you'll have to tune in and see. And then that includes you, James. I'm not going to tell you. You got to tune in and listen to the episode to find out what we're doing.
All right.
And as always, you can check out episodes of Jedi Dropouts or now Final Form or any other of the spin-off podcasts over at www.jedidropouts.podbean.com, over on Google Play, iTunes, Podbean, YouTube, all those places. And I'm going to put out a quick call here. If you own an Apple device, or if you know somebody who owns an Apple device, go leave us a review, because apparently iTunes reviews do a lot with raising awareness of a podcast. And the more reviews you get on iTunes, the more easy it is to find the podcast. So if you can, go leave us a review. It helps a lot. And thanks for dropping by.
And something, drop out.
Later.
Peace.